Abu Al-Hasan Al-Ash'ari's story begins in the city of Basra, a thriving center of learning and theological debate in the 9th century. Born into a respected family, Al-Ash'ari was the descendant of Abu Musa Al-Ash'ari, a notable companion of the Prophet Muhammad. This noble lineage placed him in a position of high esteem from an early age. Despite his Sunni background, Al-Ash'ari's early education was rooted in Mu'tazilite thought, a prevailing theological school known for its emphasis on reason and rationality in understanding faith. His stepfather, Sheikh Abu Ali al-Jubai, was a prominent figure in the Mu'tazilite community. Under his guidance, Al-Ash'ari delved deep into the teachings of the Mu'tazilites, absorbing their doctrines and methodologies. His education was comprehensive, covering not only religious studies, but also philosophy, logic, and ethics. Al-Ash'ari's sharp intellect and keen understanding of religious matters became evident as he grew. He was particularly fascinated by the Mu'tazilite belief in the createdness of the Quran, a doctrine that was hotly contested within Islamic circles. However, even as he excelled in his studies, there were undercurrents of doubt and questioning within Al-Ash'ari. The answers provided by his Mu'tazilite mentors often left him unsatisfied, planting seeds of skepticism towards the very doctrines he was being taught. This inner conflict set the stage for his later transformation and his eventual emergence as a defender of Sunni Islam. Abu Al-Hasan Al-Ash'ari's journey into the depths of Islamic theology was not without its trials. Raised under the tutelage of his stepfather, the eminent Mu'tazilite scholar Abu Ali al-Jubai, Al-Ash'ari found himself deeply entrenched in Mu'tazilite teachings from a young age. However, as he matured, the doctrines he had learned as a child began to sit uneasily with him. His intellectual world was shaken by an intense inner conflict. The more he delved into Mu'tazilite beliefs, the more questions he found. The teachings, which once seemed irrefutable, now appeared to be fraught with inconsistencies. Al-Ash'ari sought answers, but the explanations offered by his mentors and peers were unsatisfactory. This period of his life was marked by a profound spiritual and intellectual crisis as he struggled to reconcile his faith with his burgeoning doubts. The turning point came in a form as unexpected as it was decisive, a dream. In this pivotal moment, Al-Ash'ari dreamt of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. In the dream, the Prophet counseled him, urging him to abandon Mu'tazilite doctrines and adhere to the Sunnah, the Prophet's own teachings and practices. This dream was more than just a nocturnal vision. It was a sign, a clear directive for his troubled soul. The impact of this dream was immediate and transformative. Al-Ash'ari took it as a divine instruction, a guiding light out of his spiritual turmoil. He made a bold and public renunciation of the Mu'tazilite beliefs he had once championed. This dramatic shift was not merely a personal change of heart. It was a statement that resonated throughout the Islamic scholarly world. Al-Ash'ari's transformation marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. He turned towards Sunni Islam, dedicating himself to the study and defense of its doctrines. His experience and intellect, once used to propagate Mu'tazilite teachings, now became tools in his quest to strengthen and articulate the foundations of Sunni theology. In doing so, he not only resolved his inner conflict, but also paved the way for his future role as a revered Sunni imam and scholar, leaving an indelible mark on Islamic thought. After his profound internal transformation, Abu Al-Hasan Al-Ash'ari embarked on a new journey, one that would firmly establish him as a revered scholar in the Sunni tradition. In a bold and public declaration, he renounced his Mu'tazilite beliefs, embracing the doctrines of Sunni Islam that he once opposed. This pivotal moment marked not just a personal shift for Al-Ash'ari, but also a significant turn in the theological landscape of the Islamic world. In the wake of this transformation, Al-Ash'ari dedicated himself to the defense and propagation of Sunni Islam. He engaged in intellectual debates, challenging the very doctrines he had once advocated. His arguments were not just rooted in theological positions, but were also a reflection of his deep understanding of both Mu'tazilite and Sunni teachings. This unique perspective allowed him to address the controversies and questions of his time with a depth and clarity that few others could. As his reputation grew, Al-Ash'ari's influence extended beyond mere scholarly circles. He began to attract a following of students and scholars drawn to his innovative methods of interpreting Islamic texts and his ability to reconcile rational thought with traditional Sunni beliefs. His teachings emphasized the importance of the Quran and the Hadith as primary sources of Islamic knowledge, while also acknowledging the role of reason and logic in understanding them. One of al-Ash'ari's most significant contributions was his work Al-Ibana and Usul ad-Diyana, which articulated his theological stance. In this work, he affirmed the attributes of God, the reality of divine predestination, and the uncreated nature of the Quran, aligning his beliefs with mainstream Sunni thought. This work not only solidified his standing within the Sunni community, but also laid the foundations for what would become the Ash'ari school of thought, a major theological school in Sunni Islam. Through his writings, teachings, and debates, Abu al-Hasan al-Ash'ari not only reshaped his own spiritual path, but also profoundly influenced the theological and intellectual landscape of Islam. His journey from a Mu'tazilite to a defender of Sunni Islam remains a testament to his enduring legacy as a scholar and a thinker. His impact is still felt today, as generations of Muslims continue to be guided by his teachings and insights. Abu al-Hasan al-Ash'ari's journey from a Mu'tazilite to a staunch defender of Sunni Islam is not just a tale of personal transformation, but a significant shift in Islamic thought. His contributions in the realm of theology, particularly through his scholarly works, marked a turning point in Islamic discourse. Among his many writings, Al-Ibana and Usul ad-Diyana stands out as a seminal work. In it, Al-Ash'ari delves deeply into the core beliefs of Sunni Islam, meticulously outlining his doctrinal positions. This book is particularly notable for its role in clarifying and defending the tenets of Sunni thought against Mu'tazilite doctrines. His arguments in Al-Ibana are characterized by their logical rigor and clarity, making complex theological concepts accessible to a wider audience. Beyond Al-Ibana, al-Ash'ari's numerous other treatises and letters played a crucial role in shaping Islamic theology. His works often focused on countering heretical views and defending the orthodox Sunni stance on various issues, such as the attributes of Allah, the nature of faith, and the concept of predestination. Al-Ash'ari's legacy extends far beyond his writings. His methodological approach, which combined rational reasoning with a staunch adherence to the Quran and Sunnah, laid the groundwork for what would become the Ash'ari school of thought. This school, named after him, emerged as a formidable theological force within Sunni Islam. It provided a middle path between the rationalist Mu'tazilites and the more literalist approaches of other scholars, striking a balance that appealed to a broad spectrum of Muslims. Today, Al-Ash'ari is remembered not just as a scholar who defended the Sunni creed, but as a pivotal figure in the history of Islamic thought. His intellectual journey and subsequent teachings continue to resonate in Islamic scholarship, affirming his status as a revered Sunni imam and theologian. His influence is evident in the prevalence of Ash'ari thought in the teachings of many contemporary Sunni scholars and institutions, underscoring the enduring impact of his work on the Islamic world.